Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to Friday Flow. My name is Ellen. Welcome, welcome. You're going to go ahead and start in a seated position. So this is our last Friday Flow of this year of 2021, which is crazy. So if you all, during class, maybe think about some things that you'd like to work on for next year for this class, maybe some poses, or you prefer a little more stretching. Any and all feedback is great. So at any point during our practice, you can type that in the chat box. And we're gonna take it a little bit lower intensity for today. We're definitely gonna go through a flow and get nice and warm. I wanna focus just a little bit more on some stretching. So let's start with some shoulder rolls. And just starting to slow down your mind here and anything that you were thinking about for maybe later in your day or for work. I just want you to turn that off, put that off to the side, and just focus on you for the next about 45, 50 minutes. Nice big shoulder rolls. Up, down, and around. Now let's take this into a little bit of a twist. You're gonna do one at a time. And as you do that, you're gonna sort of gently twist over that shoulder, over that side. Creating just a little bit more movement in the body here. All right, we'll do one more on each side. Then we're gonna come back to the center, and I want you to take your hands behind you, and you're gonna lean back slightly and open up your chest. So squeeze your shoulder blades together. I want you to push your hips down, lift your chest, maybe that head comes back and your chin lifts up, if that's comfortable for you. And then slowly come back to the center. Inhale, and then exhale, you're just gonna round forward or almost like fold forward. And we're gonna go through those two just a few more times. So you can even reach for a block here. So inhale, walk those hands back up, and then exhale, take them behind. Squeeze your shoulder blades and press your chest up towards the ceiling. One more breath here. And then inhale, come back to the center. Walk those hands out as you exhale and lean forward. And then coming back up, inhale and exhale. So same thing, holding that for a few breaths. So just really starting to open our chest and our shoulders here. And then you're gonna slowly come back to the center, inhale, and then exhale, walk it back in front. Relax the head. This will be your last time. And then slowly come back up to the center. Now I want to take our stretch to the side. So we're going to take that right hand up. Nice inhale and exhale. We're going to reach up and over to the side. Slowly come back to the center, and then we're going to switch. So we're going to start by making it a little more dynamic before we hold the stretch. So nice and easy, inhale and exhale. Just starting to get that blood flowing through the body. So just take it nice and easy, and as I always say, check in with your body and do what feels right for you. Never want to force ourselves into any pose. So if it doesn't feel right, then just pull back a little bit and adjust as you need to. Inhale and exhale. Okay, so this time we're going to hold on to it for a little bit longer. With that right arm, you're going to reach overhead here. I want you to drop those shoulders back out of your ears, down and away from your ears. Now, as we inhale, we're going to rotate our chest and shoulders to meet the floor. And I want you to sort of swing that arm down in front of you. And then as you exhale, bring it right back up and then open up the chest and take your gaze to your elbow. So we're sort of starting a little twist there. We're gonna do that 2 more times. Inhale down, sweep the arm back, and then exhale, reach and rotate. You're gonna feel a really big stretch in your torso and shoulders. 1 more time, down, reach and twist, and then hold this here. Pushing those right hip bones down, and you're looking at your elbow here. Slowly come back up to the center, inhale, exhale, just release those arms, couple of shoulder rolls. You should feel a really big stretch in that side body. So maybe you just move a little bit side to side, lean forward before I do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so now the left arm, take it up, inhale, and exhale. So we hold on to this. I want you to push down with that left hip. So you get a big stretch here. And on your next inhale, you're gonna sort of close off the chest. Arm comes down, you're facing the floor, sweep the arm back, bring it right back up as you exhale, and then rotate to look up at your elbow. 2 more, and you might find that one side's a little bit easier to find that space and move. That's normal. Inhale and exhale. Once you find out what side is maybe a little bit tighter, you can always do a couple extra on that side. So hold this here, looking up at your elbow so that we're opening our chest or shoulders towards that ceiling. Getting a nice twist. And then coming back to center. Nice and gentle, inhale and exhale. And again, a couple shoulder rolls, maybe moving around a little bit. Good job. Okay, last thing that we're gonna do seated here is just a cat-cow. So you're gonna place those hands on your knees. And as you inhale, you're gonna slide them towards your hips and your chest pushes forward. You're gonna pull your elbows straight back. Inhale, and then exhale, they slide back to your knees. You pull that belly button in and tuck your chin. It's almost like how we maybe sometimes sit at our desk, right, when we really shouldn't be. Inhale, push forward. So right here is where we get to stretch the chest and shoulders, and then exhale. So just cycle through this a few times. I'm just gonna show you from the side. So keep moving. I'm also gonna adjust my seated position. You can do that as well. All right, we wanna be comfortable here. So see, I'm really exaggerating that movement. Inhale and exhale. I want you to do the same. So really push that chest forward as far as you can. Squeeze those shoulder blades, elbows back. And we'll do it 2 more times. Inhale. This is a great stretch to do while you're seated at your desk too. Don't even have to leave your desk for this one. Inhale and exhale. Perfect. Okay, let's do a traditional cat-cow. So you're gonna come out of your seated position and come into a tabletop. Feel free to add an extra mat, a blanket, or fold your mat under, especially when we're working on our knees. All right, so tabletop, hands under those hips, knees are underneath, hands under our shoulders. Sorry, knees under our hips. So inhale, so same thing. You drop your belly, you lift the chest, you lift the tailbone, and then exhale, we round the spine and pull that belly button in and tuck our chin. And then again, inhale. Really exaggerating that movement, getting a nice stretch for your low back, and exhale. And just a couple more times. Inhale and exhale. Nice deep breaths. Trying to breathe in and out through the nose if you can. And one more. Perfect. Come back to your neutral spine. I want you now to extend your right leg. Okay, so you're going to tuck your toes. Keep that leg nice and straight. I want you to shift your weight forward and back. So just rocking forward and back. Starting to get into the back of our leg here, our calves and hamstrings. Keep your Tabletop position, nice and steady. So it's sort of a modified version of a down dog where we stretch out those hamstrings and calves. All right, and now I want you to go ahead and come back to the center. I want you now to lift that leg, okay? Lift it up, and then I want you to reach your opposite arm up as well. And we're gonna hold this here just to build some heat. So it's your right arm and your left leg. I want you to keep both hip bones facing the floor. Imagine you are holding a plank position. Keep your eyes right in front of your fingertips. Hold this here. Tuck those hips just a tiny bit. Hold it for 4. Don't hold your breath though. 3. Keep breathing. 2 and 1. All right, go ahead and place it down. Sit back to child's pose before we do the other side. So when we do our any kind of balance, it warms up the body. Because it forces all of our core muscles to turn on and start working so that we don't fall. That's a great way to get warm. So let's do the other side. So come on up, back to your tabletop. Now your left leg extends out, and we're gonna shift forward and back. It's a nice little stretch for our wrists as well. So nice and easy, rocking forward and back. I want you to keep that leg as straight as you can. Really think of pressing through that heel. And our gaze, we want that in front of our hands. So it's maybe towards the top of your mat rather than straight down at your hands. So slightly ahead. All right, one more little stretch. Okay, you're gonna come back to that center, that neutral spine, and now all you're gonna do is lift that leg about hip height, and now your right arm, opposite arm of that leg is gonna also lift, and we're gonna hold this here. Again, maybe one side feels a little harder than the other. Hold this and breathe. Stitch your rib cage together. Try to pull your ribs closer to one another. Hold this here, no tension in your neck. If it's too much to extend that arm, you can bend your elbow, maybe off to the side. Hold this here for 4. Keep that leg lifted. 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Perfect. Knees wide, feet together, and back to our child's pose. This is a great stretch. And you can use a block if your forehead doesn't quite reach the mat, which is the goal in this stretch. You can use your block to help. So 2 more breaths in your child's pose. All right, and then slowly walk it up. Okay, so before we get into our hips, I want to focus a little more on the upper body and back. So I want you to lower it down onto your chest and belly. Just gonna move my mat a little bit. All the way down. So we're gonna come into Locust Pose. Your arms are down by your side and your legs are about hip distance. So this time I do want your gaze straight down, just so we keep our neck nice and long. So on your next inhale, you're gonna lift your arms and legs, everything off the floor. Locust Pose as high as you can. We'll start with those legs wide. Hold this for a couple breaths. So working every back muscle here, pulling those shoulder blades together. Hold it for 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then relax. You can turn your head over to one side. And just relax here for a couple breaths, and we'll do it again. Slowly come back to the center. All right, now try with your legs a little closer together. Go ahead and inhale, lift, and hold this here. Make sure you're breathing. Straight legs, point those toes, your arms down by your side, and you're looking straight down at your mat. I don't want you to look ahead. Straight down. Hold it, lift a little higher, squeeze and lift, hold for 4, 3, 2, Relax, turn your head to the other side. Notice when we relax, those shoulders roll forward completely. This is why we do this exercise, to strengthen those back muscles so we don't have that forward fold posture when we stand. Okay, we're gonna do it one more time. So if legs wider felt more comfortable, go back to that. If legs closer together felt okay, you can stay there. This time I want you to try to interlace your fingers behind you. If you can't quite do that, just continue to squeeze your shoulder blades together. So go ahead and inhale, lift. And this time you're just trying to squeeze bring your hands together, right, in your palms. And hold this here. Trying to interlace those fingers. Again, head is down. Lift as high as you can. We're gonna hold this for 8, 7, 6, squeeze and lift 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Turn your head to whatever side if you prefer, and relax there for a moment. Good job. All right, so legs a little wider than the hips if they're not there already. We're gonna lift up onto our elbows for Sphinx pose. So your elbows are right under your elbows. Your elbows are right under your shoulders. Wow, I can't talk this morning. All right, so you're keeping that chest lifted. Now I say that if this is just too much for your low back or maybe just too tight, you can pull your arms out a bit and maybe even put a block under your chest, okay? We don't want anything to be painful. Hold this here. If you don't stretch very often though, and you do sit a lot, this might feel hard, this might feel challenging, but it shouldn't feel painful on your back. So just keep that chest lifted and adjust as you see fit. We're gonna hold for a couple breaths. So try to hang out here with me if you can. Now if this feels great and you're really flexible, maybe you start to look over your shoulders slowly and add a little bit of movement. Everybody's different, so do what feels good for your body. I'm gonna stay right here. I'm feeling this one this morning. So don't allow the shoulders to drop, right, or sink. That's what we wanna do. We're working on strengthening those muscles. It's a work in progress, right? Hold it for 4, you got this. 3, 2, and then slowly come down. Woo, turn your head to that other side and relax. Awesome job. Hang out here for a couple breaths. Our next position will be a child's pose. We're gonna get there really slowly though. So go ahead and tuck the toes, hands under. Tuck those hips under so you engage your core. Very gently push up, very gently. And then bring your knees close together. And then sit back into that child's pose. This should feel good on that low back. And take a few breaths here. So next I want to work on our hips. All right, let's slowly come back up to that tabletop, okay? I'm gonna fold my mat just to give my knees a little extra support. You have that option as well if you'd like. So we're gonna come back, excuse me, to our tabletop. We're gonna do circles with our knees like we did last week, okay? So tabletop, you're gonna start with that right leg. It's gonna stay bent, and you're gonna imagine that your knee is a paintbrush, and you're gonna draw big circles. You're gonna try to draw big circles. So start in one direction. You can do this on your elbows. If you want to give your wrists a little break, that's another option too. You're gonna feel those glutes form up right away. And now let's switch directions, couple circles in that other direction. If you feel that your back is arching a little bit, then go ahead and lower down to those elbows and your forearms. I'm feeling that opposite leg, those glutes right now. All right, go ahead and release. Let's do the same thing other side. So I have gone down to my elbows. Again, your knee is your paintbrush. Draw circles with it. Keep going. Now the key is to make big circles without moving your hips too much. So if you're wobbling all over the place, make your circles a little smaller. And then you can work your way up to bigger. Let's switch and do the opposite direction. If you're on those hands, just keep your back super flat so you can balance your glass of water or a cup of coffee. It cannot spill. Just opening up those hips a little bit. All right, good job. Sit back and just flip those palms, a little stretch for your wrists. So we're gonna do a stretch and movement exercise that we did last week as well to help open up through the side body and our hips. So go ahead and come up to a kneeling position. So this one, you're probably gonna want some extra mat or blanket because you are gonna be on your knees. And then these are optional as well. So I used to call it like an iron cross. We're sort of doing an iron cross position, but we're getting a stretch in with it. So squeezing your glutes, hips are forward. We're gonna take those arms out, and similar to our side body stretch we did in the beginning of class, right arm, reach it up, inhale, and exhale. So let's do that 2 more times. Now your hand can go either to the mat or to a block like I have it. So the block makes it easier, it brings the floor to you. Rather than you maybe struggling to reach the floor, hold this here. So I could also switch my block. So this is my tight side. So I'm keeping my block right here. And again, do what feels good for you. You can grab a pillow, grab a dumbbell, anything that you want to reach, really. All right, so hold here. If you want a little more, you just extend our right leg out. So sort of like a side plank. And then we're going to mimic the same thing we did in the very beginning of class. You're going to swing that arm down. You're going to drop your hips with it. So sort of close off your chest. Inhale, and then exhale, we open it up. And once you think of pushing your hips forward, you look at your elbow. 3 more. Inhale. This is also optional. Exhale. It is harder. I have to adjust my block. Try 1 more time here. Inhale, drop those hips, swing that arm, and exhale, hold. You're looking at your elbow. Push your hips forward, leg nice and straight, and then slowly bring that leg back in. Use your obliques, pull back up to that iron cross position. Relax the arms, and then maybe a little twist, right? Move the hips around, do what you gotta do. Woo. I did Zumba with Sarita last night. Oh my gosh, my hips. Feeling that this morning. All right, so same thing on the other side, okay? Same thing. Iron cross, flip those palms, inhale, and exhale. So I can go a little bit further on this side, 2 more. And again, adjust for you. I want you to think of zipping up a tight pair of pants so that your core stays engaged the whole time. It should be working the whole time. Not your low back muscles, but your core, right? So you can hold right here or extend that leg out, right? Up to you, like a side plank almost. If you want a little more, drop those hips. Arm comes down, inhale. Exhale, swing and lift. Gaze at your elbow. Try 2 more. Just really gets into the hips, gets them nice and open and loose. 1 more. Inhale and exhale and hold this right here. Side plank, just about. And then slowly bring that leg in. Come back to the iron cross. Perfect. And then you can go ahead and just sit back. Good job, everyone. All right, we're gonna keep working into those hips. So similar to our sequence last week, we're gonna sort of start the same way. So always have those blocks handy. We're gonna come into our first downward facing dog. So like a Christmas tree shape, right? Lift those hips up. And I want you to pedal out your heels here. So press your chest towards your thighs. Relax your head. Nod your head yes, and shake your head no. Perfect. Hold this here. All right, we're gonna go ahead and bring those feet together. And I want you to lift that right leg up as high as you can on your next inhale. Lift it up, keep those hip bones facing the floor. You're gonna bend the knee, exhale, and plant that foot in front and in between your hands, maybe manually. Drop that back knee, flatten your toe, and lift that arm up for a low lunge. Both arms. So cactus also works. Should feel better if you have sensitive shoulders. Hold this here. And then we're gonna inhale, take those arms down, and exhale, just gonna gently fold forward here. But I want you to keep your back flat. So notice how not rounding forward, keeping my back nice and flat, and dropping my chest down to my leg. Perfect. So maybe your hands reach the floor, maybe you're using blocks like me. And then once you reach those arms back up, inhale. One more time. Maybe you take a little mini back bend and take your gaze up. Challenge your balance, one more breath. And then exhale, let's take those hands down. So this time I want you to add a little bit of a twist. You're gonna reach that opposite hand to the floor or into your block. And you're gonna reach and twist with that right arm. Try to extend it up. So I have my hand on my hip, shoulders still feeling a little tight. So maybe next time I come here, I can extend. I'm gonna start right here, just like we did earlier, right? Opening up through the chest, the shoulders, hold it for one more breath. And then slowly come back to the center. You're gonna re-tuck your back toe, lift your knee off the floor, and we're gonna step back to down dog. We're gonna go through a flow here on the floor. Inhale, come forward to your high plank. And then exhale, knees and chest, chaturanga. Chest is forward, elbows are back. Inhale, we lift gently for that baby cobra. Elbows in, shoulders down. Should feel good because we really stretched out our back. And then exhale, down dog. Let's go through that one more time. And if you don't want to, you can stay in down dog or child's pose. Inhale and exhale, just building a little more heat. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, down dog. Or child's pose. Hold that there. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So if you're in your child's pose, lift back up to down dog. Feet together. This time your left leg reaches up, inhale. Hip bones to the floor, lift as high as you can. And then exhale, bend that knee and place that foot in between your hands. You're gonna drop that back knee down. Flatten that toe. Lift the chest, find your balance. Use your core. Arms up, inhale, exhale, and hold. For a couple breaths, really getting that nice stretch in those hips. Arms up or in cactus, whatever you like. Hold this for a few more breaths. And then inhale, gently bring those hands down, chest to your thigh, and hold this right here. Remember, we're keeping our back nice and flat here. Yep, so no rounding of the shoulders, perfect. Hold this for a couple breaths. Breathe into this, not rushing. Feel that stretch. Maybe you move your hips around a little bit. And then one more time, lift those arms. One more breath. Inhale, hands come down. Here comes the twist. You're gonna press that right hand to the floor. So whatever leg is in front, it's that same side arm that's twisting up. Reach and twist. So hand can start at your hip. And if you have that flexibility, if you're warmed up, completely extend that arm all the way up. So hold this for a couple breaths. Make sure your knee is on top of your toe. One more breath, big twist. Try to open that shoulder and chest towards the ceiling and then come back to the center. Inhale, we're gonna retuck that back toe. We're gonna lift our knee off the floor and step back to down dog. And then inhale, come forward. We're gonna do the sequence one more time. Plank, chaturanga, lower. Inhale, lift, baby cobra, and exhale, down dog or child's pose. and hold that right there. So down dog or child's pose. Hold for a couple breaths, and we're gonna do it again on each side. Hold it for one more breath. Perfect. Wherever you are at. All right, so feet together. Take a nice inhale, lift that right leg off the floor. We're gonna add on here. Hold this here. I want you to bend that knee, and now press your knee up towards the ceiling. So sort of like when we were drawing circles with that knee, right? I want you to open your hip. So open that hip, lift that knee up as high as you can. One more breath, and then bring that knee in towards your hands. Plant your foot. Good job. So just getting even deeper into those hips, dropping that back knee onto the floor, or you can keep it lifted for an extra challenge. Arms up, inhale, and exhale, hold. So low lunge, or maybe you're ready for that high lunge, up to you. Inhale, hands come down. Exhale, let's reach and twist for that twist inside angle. Reach and twist that right arm up, while keeping those hips nice and low. Perfect. Inhale, take that hand down. We're gonna get ready for a balance. You're gonna retuck that back toe. Everyone lift your knee up back off the floor as you exhale. You're gonna rock forward and back. We're gonna get ready to come into a balanced pose. So take a nice big inhale. As you exhale, I want you to bring that back foot to reach your front. Stopping in a quick chair pose. Hold this here. And then I want us to do a tree pose, Christmas tree pose. So hold your chair and just watch my screen. You're just gonna lift right up into your tree. So anywhere but on top of the knee joint. So hold your chair, take a breath, and then we're gonna lift into our tree. So inhale, and then exhale with that same leg. Find your tree. You bring that foot on your thigh. Remember, it can go anywhere except for right on that knee joint. Perfect. And hold this here. Imagine that piece of string lifting you straight up. And if you fall out of it, that's great. Just get back into it. That's what we're here for. Just practicing these poses, building strength and balance. So let's take 2 more breaths, and then we'll take it back down and reverse that. Ooh, I'm struggling. 1 more breath. Focus on one thing in front of you. All right, we're gonna zip up a tight pair of pants. Take an inhale. Exhale, find your chair first. Maybe those arms also reach up and over. 1 more breath, hips down. Inhale, exhale, take those hands down, and you're gonna step that leg back. So it was your left leg, right? Inhale, reach those arms up. Maybe you stay up here. Exhale, hands come down, reach and twist. You're just gonna go in the reverse. Right, reach and twist. And then inhale, come back. Exhale, step back to down dog. Beautiful. Now you can stay here or go through your flow on the floor, up to you. I'm gonna go through it, nice and easy. Once you're done, a down dog or child's pose. Same thing, other side. You guys are doing great. So 2 more breaths, down dog or child's pose. We'll have to start back up in that down dog. All right, so everyone to a down dog. All right, this time, you're gonna lift that left leg off the floor. As high as you can, stay right here, bend that knee and open up your hips. So sort of press that foot back towards the wall or whatever is behind you, and try to lift that knee up to the ceiling. So opening your hips like a side plank, hold it, and then slowly bring that knee into your chest. Exhale, plant your foot. Drop that back knee, lift the arms, low lunge. Perfect. From the other side. Maybe cactus, maybe right here. And then inhale, come down, exhale, reach and twist. You want to try and stack that wrist on top of your shoulder. Inhale, come down. Exhale, retuck your toe. If you're not already in the high lunge, lift your knee off the floor. We're gonna rock forward and back. You're gonna start to put most of your weight on that front leg. We're gonna step together for chair right here. Take an inhale. Exhale, step together. Still keeping most of your weight on that leg. And then inhale, come up, find chair pose on the other side. And exhale, hold. Find that chair. Nice and tall, perfect. So hold that for a couple breaths. Just gonna come check it out. Not your chair, your tree, Christmas tree. Perfect. Beautiful, you got it. Couple more breaths. Keep those hands together, nice and tall. Focus on one thing in front of you. 2 more breaths, and then we go right to chair. Tuck those hips, pull those abs in just a tiny bit. Inhale, drop that foot, drop your hips. Exhale, chair. Right, hold your chair. 1 more breath. Inhale, take those hands down. Exhale, step back. Try to keep your knee off the floor this time. Arms reach up. High lunge, inhale. Exhale, reach and twist. Hips down. Try to keep that back leg nice and straight. Beautiful. Inhale, and then exhale, step it back. Awesome job. Down dog, go through a sequence again. Inhale, and exhale, lower. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, down dog or child's pose. Beautiful job. Got a nice little workout there. So find your child's pose. Take a couple deep breaths in and out. In your child's pose, you're gonna walk those hands over to the right diagonal. Maybe bring your nose to your knee. And hang out there for a few breaths. Inhale, slowly walk it to the center. Exhale to the other diagonal. Maybe bring that nose to your knee. Inhale to the center. Exhale, walk those hands up. All right, so we're gonna swing our legs around and we're gonna come down onto our back. Do a couple of core movements with you all, and then just a lot of good stretching. So come on down onto your back. You're gonna keep those knees bent. And I want you to first find a pair of windshield wipers with your legs. So your feet stay on the ground. You're just gonna slowly drop your legs from side to side. So we're getting out any kinks in that lower back. All right, you're gonna go ahead and hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice hug. Circle the ankles and wiggle the toes. Gently rock side to side. So we're gonna continue working on those hips, but incorporate a little bit of core here. Sort of a Pilates movement. So you're gonna start by extending your right leg straight up to the air, or straight up to the ceiling. Now your left leg, if you want more support for your back, you're gonna keep your foot on the floor and your knee bent, like I have it here. If you want it to be a little more challenging, and if you have flexibility, you can extend your leg long. For me, it just doesn't work. So again, whatever feels good for you. Your head stays down, your arms stay down, and you're gonna now imagine that your toe is your paintbrush. You're gonna draw a big circle. So inhale, lower down, and then exhale, big circle with that right leg. So drawing circles just like we did with our knees. Now the key here is to not let your hips move. How does that happen? We engage our low abdominals. Our lower abdominals, I want you to think of pressing your low back into the floor. So hips stay steady. Almost no movement. If you find them moving, make your circle smaller, right? All right, let's go in the other direction. And you want to keep that leg nice and straight. Remember, hips nice and steady. And if they're wobbling, just make your circle, again, a little bit smaller. This is the easy version. Second time we do it, we're gonna really work those abdominals. One more. All right, and then just relax. We're gonna do the same thing on the other side, all right? So also good way to sort of open up your hips. Maybe first thing in the morning, you could also use it as that. So now left leg up, same thing. Paintbrushes your toe, inhale and exhale. Whatever direction you want to start with, we'll do both. Just a couple in each direction. Again, if you feel that pull, try to keep your hips nice and flat. No movement, just make that circle a little smaller. So this side's a lot tighter for me. Gotta make those circles much smaller. Go ahead and reverse those circles. So I should not be able to slide my hand under your back. That's how flat your back is right now. You should already be feeling your abs. If you aren't, I want you to work a little harder. Push your low back into that floor a little harder. All right, and then come back to the center and then just shake it out. All right, so now we're gonna do both legs at the same time, okay? So for this one, you can do either hands under your hips and keep your head down. If you wanna engage your core a little more and use your upper abdominals, you can lift your head, neck, and shoulders, hands behind your head, or my trick is the yoga block, okay? Because I don't want you to use your neck. You gotta turn off those neck muscles. Your abs should be able to lift you off the floor, not your neck. All right, and if your neck is working, then just drop your head back down, right? And stick to one leg. Here we go, look at your toes. Inhale, you're gonna lower a couple inches, and then exhale, create that circle, and come back up to the top. Let's do it again. Inhale, keep your chest lifted, and exhale. You feel your neck muscles take over. Maybe they're a little stronger than your core muscles, and just relax your head down. Inhale and exhale. Maybe arms under those hips. Let's try 3 more. Inhale and exhale. 2 more. If you want a little harder, you just go lower, right? Make it bigger. Woo! Oh my gosh, 1 more, then a little breather. Inhale and exhale and relax. Woo! Great job. You can just relax on your block like this. We're just gonna do it 1 more time. This will be our last piece of work. We're gonna do the reverse circles and start at the top. All right, here we go. Back flat, chest and shoulder blades off the mat. You should be able to fit a tennis ball under your chin. Here we go. Circle, inhale, and then lower right there as you exhale and come back up. So just reversing the direction. Inhale and exhale. You should not be able to see your elbows. Inhale and exhale. Maybe they should be out to the side, not straight up. And exhale. A couple more. I know it's a lot to do. Woo! Keep that chin up. 3 more. Inhale and exhale. Tennis ball under that chin. Can you lift your chest a little higher? Shoulder blades not touching the floor. Last one. Inhale and exhale. Woo! Great job, everybody. Awesome, awesome job. Let's do windshield wipers, arms overhead, just sort of relax them there, and windshield wiper over your legs. Good job. So it's okay if you felt your neck a little bit. Probably just stronger muscles in your core. That's okay. That's why we're doing this. We're trying to build that strength in our core so that we don't have to use our neck. All right, let's hug our knees into our chest. We're gonna drop them over to the left side, and you're gonna extend your arms out and look over your right shoulder for a spinal twist. Feel free to extend that top leg, straighten it out for just a little more of a stretch. You can press through that heel. And then very slowly come back to the center. Inhale and exhale, drop them over to the other side. Arms out and look over the opposite shoulder. Spinal twist, maybe you extend that top leg and press through your heel. Up to you. This should feel good. And then slowly back to the center. Let's drop those feet onto the floor. We're gonna go into just a couple bridges. Feet are about hip distance. Then you want your feet right under those knees. Arms by your side. Inhale. Exhale, lift those hips up. And then inhale, slowly lower. And exhale, back up. Like you're peeling your spine on and off the floor. One more time, we're gonna hold that last one. So you can have it supported if you have that block handy, or just hold this here and work on strengthening your glutes and your hips. A little extra, interlace your hands underneath and pull your arms under. Hold this here. Get a little more stretch in your shoulders and upper body. A couple more breaths, keep those hips lifted. Once again, stretching through the front side of the body, right? And then very slowly start to move those arms out to the side and lower your hips back down. Nice and easy here. Extend your legs straight out and arms overhead. We're gonna do our crescent moon shape stretch next. So arms overhead, legs out. You're gonna walk those feet as far to the left corner as you can. As far to the left as you can. Until you don't go any further. And then same with your arms and your upper body. And look over your left shoulder and create that crescent moon shape with your body. Hold this here. You should feel a big stretch in that right side body. And slowly walk it back to the center. And now walk over to the other side. Again, as far as you can without lifting your hips. So you still want to stay on your back, on your hips. Walk it over, just like you would do a standing version. Just on your back. And hold this here. You could even interlace those hands like you would do standing and keep your pointer and thumb extended if you wanted it to be just like the standing version, right? Standing side reach with those arms extended. You can certainly do that too. Get a little more stretch in the upper body and then slowly come back to the center. Woo. Hug your knees in one more time. And then just for our last final moments here, just close your eyes and find any comfortable position you'd like. We'll just be here for a couple moments. So just close your eyes and focus on your breath. Notice how you're feeling now as compared to when you started class. Hopefully you're feeling much better. Just take a moment to be in the silence. And then slowly start to move your body and wake it back up. Move your head from right side to left side. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Circle your wrists and your ankles and gently draw those knees into your chest, giving yourself one last hug and tell yourself something nice, how awesome you are. And then slowly roll to one side. You can gently press yourself up and come to a comfortable seated position. This is where we will end class today. So maybe a couple shoulder rolls or gentle twists once you're up there, whatever feels good. I always like to do that when I come up. All right, and then inhale, reach those arms up. We're gonna take our palms together, exhale, lower them down to our heart center. Close your eyes. Thank yourself for making the time every Friday, or almost every Friday, or once a month, whatever it was, but just for making the time for yourself to show up, to do something for your body, but hopefully also your mind and your spirit. And we'll say namaste to one another. And we close out a fabulous year with you all. Next time we meet in this class, it will be a new year. So thank you so much for always showing up and always coming to class, making that time. And I really appreciate spending this every Friday morning with you all. You all are wonderful. Thank you so much. And happy holidays!
Same to you, Ellen. Thank you for the videos, man. Those are awesome.